Hello, it is Matt with Always Tyrants, wanting to do a different kind of video today. I've been wanting for this whole album to do a lyric by lyric video for every song that we have on the album. Reason being is because I'm always extremely interested in what songs mean for my favorite bands, and a lot of bands have taken to not explaining what songs mean, but I think that we're kind of over that, and I know that there's a lot of people who want to know some background with songs, what they mean, or cool stories about making the song or recording it. So that's going to be my goal here. So the first one we're going to do is our lead single off of the album, These Days. So the first verse of These Days is: got a couple more dents in my Buick, put a new hole in my wall. I dropped my girl at her mom's, happy ever after all. When I started writing this song, I should say, I wanted to do something that just kind of came out with a bang. And so I just thought that those were kind of cool. I've always driven a 2001 Buick Century, and it's got a lot of dents on it. And so that was a very realistic lyric. So I wanted to start off with a character or person, specifically, get some specifics in there, and just kind of highlight that they're having a bad day. Next part of that verse is, man, there's nothing I would rather do than drinking brews with my crew. So just trying to highlight the fact that this person is under a lot of stress, and he's got another outlet that he would rather be doing. So when we move on to the chorus is, these days have been a little stressful for me. These days have been a little uptight on me. She says I gotta choose before I lose, but I just keep on hammering. I guess I can. I guess I will. Gotta get my fix. Gotta get my feel. So, what does that mean? Well, very realistically, when I said these days are a little uptight on me, I always imagined somebody putting on a tie, which we put that visual in the music video specifically because of that. Um, so, what does the I just keep on hammering mean? Well, that is a tagline from Cam Hanes, whose shirt I've been wearing and totally beating to death. I've got multiple videos of me in this t-shirt, including the music video and an interview, and now this. And Cam deserves all of the credit. I had DM'd him about using that tagline, and he was cool with it, so he deserves all of the respect in the world. And Cam means a lot to me, and here's why. When I first started writing this song, I just kind of wanted a cool hard rock song at first. But the chorus started to take on a whole new meaning in my life when I had significant stressors going on at the time. And what I really was going on with was I was really struggling if I wanted to keep going on with music. And this is something that I've never even talked to the band about, but I went through a period where I did not just think about giving up on music. I made a conscious decision to give up on music. I told myself I was done. I said I wasn't going to say anything to anybody. I was just going to be quiet about it and hope it faded away. And I've had other passions in my life that I've done that on. Um, and within those passions is actually kind of how I had come across Cam Hanes, because I was passionate about hunting for a while, and I started listening to a lot of him, especially on Joe Rogan, learning about bow hunting and listening to his stories. And by default, I followed him on Instagram mainly because of that. And what ended up happening was I was waking up every day and it just felt like a weight was pressing on my chest. And there are some things, some ambitions that I've taken up where once I gave up on them, I actually felt a lot better, and it felt like a weight was off of me. But when I made this effort to give up on music, it just felt like I had a continuous push on me every time I woke up. And I've touched on this before, but what was going on in this time period was, since I was following Cam on Instagram, he posts a lot of motivational stuff, and he always talks about keep hammering. And I haven't said this before, but I actually got so tired of the motivational stuff that I almost unfollowed him. Not because I thought that the motivational stuff was bad, but it was making me feel guilty, and it made me feel like I was giving up, which I was. Um, And so I had to make the conscious decision to not give up, but to continue on with music. And I think around that time period, we ended up releasing our first single, and I actually really kicked it up a notch after that. Um, but it was a really tough time, to be honest. And like I said, I had a lot of stressors going on, and I was taking on a lot of responsibilities, and a lot of the responsibilities for somebody who, by the way, um, never thought I was going to do anything but play music for my life. And anybody who's been down this path knows that that works for about a minute. And if you're not seeing success right away, you've got to find ways to feed yourself and truly make a living. And so I was taking on responsibilities, and I was in roles that I never thought I would be in, and that I didn't really feel comfortable in. And it was just kind of it was a stressful time, but it was kind of a dark time too, just because I didn't know how to cope with it. And so all the credit to Cam Haynes. You never know what you can inspire when you post stuff out there. And I want to say this too, because there is a difference between purpose and passion, and passion will truly burn you out. And I don't think passion is necessarily a good thing. I don't think ambition is necessarily a good thing either. They can both eat you up and destroy you. And I think a lot of people are struggling with that. But if you're feeling like a conviction because you're giving up on something, um, don't. I didn't unfollow Cam. I never did that. Don't unfollow the people that make you feel convicted. Figure out what those feelings are coming from, and keep hammering. And so that's what this song is about. Cam deserves all the praise for it. And another thing that I like about Cam is this: he still works at a 9 to 5 job. I always felt like I wasn't a true musician because I have a 9 to 5 job, and I started to find out I had a lot of strength because of my 9 to 5 job. I was getting a lot of opportunities due to my job, and I was getting these opportunities that helped my music get better, and helped me get my music out there, helped me meet more people, and I started to realize that my 9 to 5 was truly a strength. And he has a quote once where he's talking about people who say, "Oh, it must be nice. It must be nice." But I got a 9 to 5, and he said, "I got a 9 to 5 too, bitch." And so many times the past few years have I felt that of when I know people look at some of the success that I have, because I've had a little bit, and they think it must be nice, but they have no idea how hard and how many things I've put off. I tell people that outside of band stuff, I've never gone to a bar just to hang out. It On those Friday nights, I spent so much time alone working on music, and there's a period of time where you're like, man, am I missing out on the best years of my life? It's like I hope this pays off, and so you know, I've sacrificed a lot for the little that I do have, and I'm very much appreciative of it. So moving onward, second verse. Park my car on the hill. I gotta check how I feel. Am I doing what is right? Am I living my life? And I would never tell you if I knew what I was doing. Um, on a When I was at work, I was out in an area a lot that was beautiful. There's a lot of plains and a lot of hills, and there was one time in particular, but honestly multiple times, where I would park my car and just look out and just have this inner dialogue of like, what am I doing? Am I doing the right thing? Am I blowing this? Like what? And just trying to get peace in my life. So all of that was happening while I was writing that song. So that's not a theoretical thing. That was something that I did not once, but multiple times. But there was one time in particular where I really remember just soaking it in, and kind of coming up with that verse and thinking if I did a music video that I wanted to include that in there, which I did not do. The I would never tell you if I knew what I was doing. That just comes from a lot of people who I used to mess with people a lot. I wouldn't go to college, and people just thought that that was just the most self-destructive thing that I could do. And I kind of like to mess with people, and act very careless about what my future is. And I'm a little bit more calculative than I would give off to some people, but I just enjoyed. They were so worried about it. They just thought that, oh, if I just went to college, then, or if you go to college, that everything will just land into place. And that's definitely not how it is. So that's also a very specific lyric that means something to me. And then we go back to the chorus. One thing I want to say about the chorus is on there where I say she says I gotta choose before I lose. That can be kind of a double meaning. That can mean that a girlfriend or a significant other is saying it's either me or this or this dream or whatever. That's For me, that wasn't the case. It was more like I was juggling so many things at once. It's like you better pick one of them, or otherwise you're not going to be successful in any of them. And I always struggled with that. I've had so many mentors and stuff say, "Dude, you've got to pick one or two. You cannot do all of these things." I always thought I was the exception, and it turns out I wasn't. Um, so after that chorus, we have the breakdown where I sing, "Oh, I've dreamt a lot of dreams. Oh, I've given up, it seems. Oh, I thought I was doing fine. When did living life become a crime?" As I kind of explained, those are very specific things of what I truly was going through at the time of writing this song. I have dreamt a lot of dreams. At the time, I did give up, is what it seemed. Not even trying to read the lyric there. And oh, I thought I was doing fine. When did living life become a crime? And that's I thought that no matter what I was doing, these were good experiences. They were experiences. I was getting something out of them. I didn't look at them as a bad thing. But like I said, there's a moment where you start wondering, like, is this paying off at all, or am I making a big mistake? So that is, and we go back to the chorus after that. So that is these days. I remember recording a voice memo. I sent it to Alec. He hit me back with a guitar. The tempo was never really quite what I wanted it to until I don't know, maybe after a year and a half of this song being within the band, I feel like we got it to a point that I really liked it, and I love the song. Listen to it all the time. Yeah, I listen to my own songs a lot. Um, but that's what this song is about. If you've got a 9 to 5, keep hammering. And if you see somebody with something that you want, don't say, "Oh, it must be nice." Yeah, some people do get things handed to them, but you would be surprised at how hard people push for the vast majority of things. People think that working hard is just is having a job or working 40 hours a week. That can be working hard and there's obviously you can literally be physically working hard depending on what you're doing. But if you've got other ambitions, you've got to work hard outside of work. In a podcast that King 810 singer David Gunn once did, where I actually asked a question that he responded to, and he talks about if you want to be in the music game, for instance, and you're working 40 hours a week, you better be working at least that when you're outside of work. And that's true. There was years and years where I seriously worked and studied my ass off, and I still haven't had remotely the payout that I want to see. Hopefully that will change in the near future. But otherwise, I'm going to keep hammering, and you should too. So that's going to be it for this first video.